Hey guys, Hunter Elliott, rangehot.com. This afternoon I'm coming to you with a brand new pistol from Dan Wesson. This is the PM-C, or Point Man Carry. So first thing I want to do is show you there is no magazine in this pistol, and the chamber is empty, so it's safe to talk about. We don't have any live ammunition out here on the table. This is a new gun that Dan Wesson introduced right around SHOT Show 2017, and is it's their Point Man Carry. You know, they do have a full-size gun called the Point Man, government model style, 1911, chambered in 9mm. And this pistol is more geared toward a carry gun. And what I mean by that is, it has an OACP size receiver and a Commander 4 1/4 length barrel. Let's talk a little bit about what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I learned over the past probably close to 400 rounds through this gun. First and foremost, it is, to be a little small pistol, it is pretty accurate. We took it out to 25 yards, shot it from a rest. As always, there's going to be a chart on rangehot.com with all the particulars on what ammunition we shot, how it printed, as well as a lot more of the specific details of this particular pistol. This is just our video overview. Starting here at the rear, it does have a very generous upswept type beaver tail grip safety. It's got a speed style, what I would call a rowel hammer that is serrated. Moving up to the rear sight, it is adjustable for windage via a little set screw, and it can be drifted in whichever direction. The face of this rear sight is serrated to cut down any kind of glare that you might would have shining off that rear sight, as well as got this ledge on it to where if you had to cock this slide single-handedly, you can hang this on your belt loop or your pocket or a table ledge and actually use the rear sight to cock the pistol. Moving toward the front, it does have a dovetailed in green fiber optic sight. It's got a beautiful trigger. A little bit of take up, and then the front strap is checkered, as is the mainspring housing. It's got beautiful, more traditional style double diamond stocks. Really nice thumb safety. It's serrated, got plenty of real estate on that to get off and on. It does engage and disengage with just with some effort and an audible click. Slide stop was a standard type slide stop. Magazine release as well is checkered. All stainless steel pistol. It's a little hefty. It's got a little bit of weight to it. Chambered in 9mm makes it really easy to shoot. I think this is the longest Allison's ever been quiet at one time span, and I think she's itching to tell you some thoughts about this gun. So she might like it a little bit more than I do, and I'm pretty fond of the gun. So Allison, just real quick, you know, you've got a lot of rounds through that pistol.
I certainly do.
Give me some thoughts.
I had a lot of fun shooting this, and I've been looking for a 1911 style pistol, and this is one I'm really considering. It feels great in my hand, and I've got small hands, and this just fits perfect for me. And it being a 9mm, I could definitely handle the recoil, which truthfully in a 9mm, this is probably the easiest that I've ever shot a 9mm, to be quite honest with you. The trigger itself is very easy to set, so I know exactly where I need to be when I need to squeeze that trigger. Overall, I think this is a beautiful gun. It feels great. The weight is, for me, just right. I'm seriously interested in this particular pistol.
So let's talk a little bit about a carry gun in 9mm, because I know there's a lot of people out there that, you know, would never think about carrying something chambered in 9mm, and there are some people that think it's kind of a faux pas to chamber a 1911 style gun in anything other than 45 automatic. You know, and I'm a traditionalist, don't get me wrong, but I believe in function over form. 20 years ago, I probably wouldn't have recommended a 9mm as a carry gun. But as we all know, ammunition technology has grown in leaps and bounds. There are a lot of rounds out there that do really well out of a 9mm as a defensive gun. Two that come to mind right off the top of my head, Double Tap and Hornady. As we all know, shot placement is key. So if the gun is accurate and easy to shoot, it's going to lend itself to be a good defensive gun. It makes it more conducive for somebody to be able to shoot well and accurate and not dread taking it to the range, because we all know whatever gun you're going to carry, you need to practice. And so it's chambered in such a round that it's inexpensive to shoot if you don't reload, as well as it's not so punishing that whoever owns it is not going to mind taking it out to the range and spending a day with it. It ships with 2 magazines. Each holds 8 rounds. Best I can remember, we've got about 400 rounds through this gun. From day one, never had any malfunctions, problems, or issues with the gun whatsoever. It's no secret Dan Wesson makes a really nice pistol. It's also no secret that they are expensive.
Yes.
You know, they're expensive guns. There's a lot of things in this world that I believe in saving money on. I like to buy cheap paper towels, cheap toilet paper, and cheap furniture. but I buy nice guns. Because here's the thing, if you ever had to depend your life on something like this, then you want to make sure you're running quality stuff. Now, don't equate expensive with quality. Generally speaking, they go hand in hand. But there are some quality guns out there that are not that expensive. And there are some really expensive guns out there that I wouldn't kick a fat hog in the ass for a truckload of them. I'm not going to mention any names right here on camera. Camera, understand these Dan Wesson pistols, they are expensive, but there is reason behind it. Not only is this an all stainless steel gun with really nice sights on it, but all the small parts are hand-fitted tool steel. So there is no MIM in this gun. Now, is MIM good or bad? Well, it depends on who you ask. If MIM is done correctly and placed in the correct places of a gun, it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. Now, also, be advised that this pistol does not run any kind of firing pin safety. All right, so what I want to do now is I'm going to take the gun apart down to the receiver, and we're going to look at all the small parts and see what we can see. Okay, so we got it detail stripped. First thing I noticed right off, other than it being pretty damn nasty, it does have a fully supported ramped 9mm match grade barrel. It is running a reduced radius firing pin stop, and that also is going to help you with some of your perceived recoil, as well as if you haven't read the article by John Travis, 1911 tuner, about the reduced radius firing pin stop on rangehot.com, I suggest you read it. It's got a lot of great information about how and why that works like it does. Trigger is, I noticed, adjustable for over travel. It's got a little bit of adjustment screw there, and the trigger face is well serrated. The sear, everything looks good on the sear and disconnect, no chips or breaks. When I look at the inside top of the slide at the radial locking lugs where they mesh into the slide, everything still looks good and crisp, as well as the radial locking lugs on the barrel. So what that leads me to believe is the barrel is well fit to the slide, because if it's not, if there was an issue with fit or timing, it'll beat these locking lugs and you can see some peening, chipping, or what have you. But that looks pretty good. Now, I realize 400 and some rounds ain't a whole lot, but I'm gonna tell you this, if there was a problem with the gun, you're gonna know the 400 rounds. Awesome, I finally found something about this pistol I didn't like, and this has been true for every Dan Wesson I've detail stripped. They have still yet to put a kink in the plunger spring. So when you take that thumb safety off, you better have your hands close by to catch it, or it's going to puke across the living room. And trying to find one of these in the grass or carpet, it's a pain in the ass. Don't ask me how I know that. I've never lost one. Yeah, where I didn't have a spare. But anyway, so everything looks pretty good. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to put this gun back together at my leisure, and I'm going to go take it easy on this beautiful Sunday. So I appreciate you watching the videos, reading the articles. Thanks a lot for that. If you've got any questions or comments, feedback, good, bad, right, or wrong, let me know. I always try to make these as good as I can and continually strive to making them better, so y'all will keep coming back and reading the articles and watching the video. You can reach out to me through rangehot.com, or you can find us on all the social media sites, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I try to cover as much as I can, so shouldn't have no trouble getting hold of me. So that's it. Hope you're doing well. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I look forward to seeing you at the range.